Let's go, family. Happy Sunday. I'm going to start in a few. All right, let's get it. Let's get it, family. Hope everybody is having a blessed and amazing Sunday. You already know God's day. Hope everybody's having a peaceful and a joyful, great day. Um, right. So let's dive into this. Today's topic is actually gonna be right. Let's dive into this. Let's get it. Let's get it. So today's topic is going to be open for change, never settle for less, right? Open for change, never settling for less, right? So let's dive into this. So, on a day to day basis, right? We have the ability to either be open for new change, different things, different circumstances, right? New opportunities to grow, or we could settle for less. We could do less work and just settle for that mediocre average paycheck, that mediocre average work ethic, right? So average, we could just settle for that. We have a choice to evolve and go for bigger and better things, right? Which comes from being open to change, right? Once we're open to change, right, and we can see the growth, right, we can step into that with fulfillment, with trust, like, oh, okay, this is something new, right? This is going to allow me to change, right, and grow and transform. And when you grow and you transform, your income increases too, right? Your income increases too, but you have to do more. You have to do more. If you do less, right, you will get the same outcome that you're getting, right? And it's no growth in just comfortability. It's no growth. That's where you die. That's where you die. You stay average. You stay mundane, right? We don't want to do that. We want to evolve. We want to transform, right? So that's why it's always good to be open for change, including me, right? On a day-to-day basis, right? When I go to work, I'm open for change. I'm looking for new things to do. I'm looking for different ways to stretch myself, right? To evolve, to get a better paycheck, to gain more access to my income, right? To level up, right? To get promoted, right? To to be in that position to get more, right? But the moment, right, you settle for less, you live that average lifestyle, right? You live that average mundane lifestyle like everybody else, right? We got to separate ourselves from everybody else. We can't do the same mundane average things and looking for uh like abundant results. We can't do less and expect for abundant results, right? We got to do more in order to get the abundance results that we want, right? So that's why it's really important to understand where you got to change, you got to evolve, you got to get out of the average mindset, right? You got to block out the noise, right? You got to lock in and focus up, right? Because everything that you want is on the other side of growth. If you don't get to the other side of growth, you don't see what's there for you. You live that average mundane lifestyle. That's what you settle for. right? That's what you settle for. You feel me? So that's why we gotta be able to transform and be adaptable to any situation, circumstances that comes our way, right? Uh, Challenges, problems, situations are gonna come, right? Are you fully equipped to handle that? Are you fully equipped to get through that, right? We got to be mindful of this because if you're not ready to get through the problems will defeat you. If you're not ready to get through the problems, right? If you're not really ready to fight through the problems will defeat you, right? You got to be able to evolve and get through the problems, right? You got to be able to evolve and get through the problems because if you don't, you risk it ruining you, right? You risk not growing. You risk not evolving, going to that next level, right? You got to be willing to step out your comfort zone. Nothing happens in the comfort zone. You feel me? Nothing happens in the comfort zone. We got to be able to transform, right? You got to be able to block out the noise and lock in, right? This is your future, right? This is your future that you're dealing with, right? So, are you going to strive for more or are you going to settle for less? Everybody else is settling for less, right? We got to settle for more, right? God didn't create you to live an average, mundane lifestyle. You are created in God's highest form of His image. You are created in God's highest form of His image. You're not created at His lowest form of image. You're created in His highest form of image, right? You are created in God's highest form of His image, right? You're not meant to be a slave. You're not meant to be controlled, right? You're not meant to seek validation, right? You have everything within inside of you. You do not need to look out anymore, right? We have to be open for change. That's the only way we're going to evolve and grow and transform. If you're not open for change, that's it. The doors is closed. You got to open those doors. You got to shine your light. You got to be the light. You got to be who God created you to be and not who the world wants you to be. You got to be who God created you to be and not who the world wants you to be. Right? This is what it's going to take. This is what it's going to take to actually transform, evolve, and see the growth that you want. Right? Including me. I got to always be open for change. I have to always be open for change. If I'm not open for change, I live average lifestyle. I don't get the income I want. I don't get to live the lifestyle I want because I am not stepping out of my comfort zone. I'm not open for change. This is what it's going to cause. Being rich is hard, being broke is hard. You got to choose your heart. You got to choose your heart. You got to choose your heart. I'm going to leave you guys with this, right? If you guys don't change and evolve and step into the person that God created you to be, and if you don't change, you settle for less. That's it. If you don't evolve and change, you're gonna just that's pretty much it. You settle for less and you miss out on what God has for you. Simple as that. I like to stretch now. I like to evolve now because I know what's on the other side of it. I know. But when I don't stretch, when I don't evolve, I live average. I have less money. I don't have that much money. Like it's just a mundane life. But when you do more, you have more money. And but think about if you do that consistently, boom, 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 boom. How much more money you would ultimately have? Years, 20 years down the line, if you stay consistent, think how much. you know how fast you would hit the goal if you just did a little bit more, right? We running out of time. We are running out of time, right? We are running out of time. So I want to take a couple minutes to pray over you guys. God, I ask that you bless them. You transform their lifestyles. You transform their minds into the person that you need them to be, Father. I ask that you can show them the way to change so that that way they don't live an average, mundane, stressful, hard life. Help them to do what's hard now, Lord, so that way later on things could be so much easier for them later. Because we know, God, we know that if we do the easy thing now, our lives are going to be so hard later. And that's what we don't want. We do not want that. We do not want to do the easy things now and our lives to be super hard later, right? Let's transform our minds, God. Help them transform their minds and my mind too as well into the person that you want us to be and not the world. And let's become everything that God created us to be. Let's go. Crazy faith to God in the building. Let's go. Happy Sunday.